ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another mini-sode, aka episode of the MPK Productions podcast. I'm your host, Mac, joined here as usual with my co-host, with the most, Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. Kristen, how you doing today?
Good. It's going to be a good week for us, especially for me. I'm excited because The Life of a Showgirl comes out in a few
I know
days.
you're
My
pumped for that.
Swifties, let's get ready. Who's
Oh,
going to the release parties? Let's see
I
what the
am not.
movies. I know, Mac. Don't worry.
This
I'll
is
find my Swiftie friends and we'll go party it up. Well, I am. I'm actually seeing one of my friends on
Aw.
Friday to go see the movie. I just bought tickets and I was like, who's ever coming, come through.
Yeah, right. It's like
Otherwise,
we're looking up.
Dylan was gonna have to be, otherwise my husband was gonna have to be forced to come because you don't get refunded for these tickets. It's like you
Oh,
go, you
Jesus.
go.
Jesus Christ. Well, meanwhile, I'm going to be seeing A24's film, The Smashing Machine, this week with The
Me
Rock to see
too.
if he can pull together an Oscar-worthy performance. But I'll also be watching what we're covering today, this little mini show. We were sent by our good buddies at Shudder, an early access screener of the newest entry into the VHS franchise, and that would be VHS Halloween. Trick or treat!
And
Yes,
thank
but
you to the wonderful people at Shudder for sending that movie to us because I'm gonna say it right here. I liked it more than 94 and I liked it more than Beyond. Saying it right now. I liked it
well,
more.
you already know I love the VHS series because I love anthology stories. Like this is why I like Love, Death,
Hmm.
and Robots, Twilight Zone, everything like that. And VHS has really given uh creative freedom to a lot of directors that we recognize in the horror genre or even just the genre in general. Have
Hmm.
given them opportunity to showcase their skills in this type of like vision. Like I people remember Radio Silence, who has
Yep.
done Scream movies and Ready or Not. They started off with VHS, and that's pretty cool. And even like with this new VHS film, like you look at some of the people that have done it, like one of the short films is Ut Supra Sic Infra, was directed by Paco Plaza. If that name sounds familiar, that's the director of Wreck, one of the best found footage movies of the
I
2000s.
was gonna bring that up in my
Yep.
notes when I was doing my research. Yep.
And then my favorite one, which we'll dive into, Fun Size, was directed by Casper Jelly. And if that, or Kelly, I'm sorry, Casper
Yes,
Kelly.
Castor Kelly. Yes.
If that name sounds familiar, it's because all my Adult Swim fans, you will recognize Too Many Cooks. Ooh, Too Many
Oh,
Cooks.
really?
He directed that. I remember that. The best, like, infomercial show of all time. And just so much talent involved with these movies. And I'm gonna have to say, like, I still think that the first one is like my favorite out of this, but Halloween starting to pull in as a close second because you mentioned it when you were watching it, and I watched this a little bit before you, but we watched it around the same time. You were saying that this gave you vibes of another anthology film that we've talked about, and that's one of my favorites is Trick or Treat.
Yes, and it was giving the vibes of that. I would say it drives inspiration from that, and I could say that for all the VHS ones because it does follow like the anthology story. But
Mhm.
this one, since it's called Halloween, this all the stories take place around or on Halloween, and that's what Trick or Treat does. It's like all the whole movie is set on Halloween, So I liked that. And to be fair, I do like Trick or Treat too. So that's probably why I enjoyed it. I liked the stories more. I felt like there was more, maybe stronger creativity because there were some really good ones here. And I really liked, I know you said you enjoyed Fun Size. I thought the creepiest one was Coochie Coo. Oh my
Oh yeah, and then that
God,
one
that.
that felt like oh, what's the word? One of those old creepy pastas that came to life for like something from the back rooms, like
Yeah.
that. It felt so creepy though. It was so good.
Yeah, I know we're going to talk about all of them in this episode, but you want to go over some of the directors that are in it? I know you mentioned Casper Kelly and Paco Plaza. Who else directed some of these shorts
Yes,
or like
so
anthologies?
for the frame
Stories.
narrative, the first director credited is Diet Phantasma, was directed by Brian M. Ferguson. Then Coochie Coochie Coo was directed by Anna Slokovich. Then we have Paco Plaza with Supra Sic Infra. Fun Size was Casper Kelly. Kid Print was directed by Alex Ross Perry, and then Home Haunt was directed by Micheline Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman.
I want to start with diaplasma since that is the narrative focus.
I mean, it felt like it was very complete and put together because it was the one that kind of led us into it. Because with any of the VHS films, like the first story, I'd say, or like the first thing, is that this is something where it's like it helps lead it into the story, and I thought this one was
Hmm.
fine.
I liked it. It does drive also some inspiration from other horror movies like Alien or Predator, especially when you see the beginning. At least in my opinion, with the like this weird alien soda, this diet soda. So I thought that was really cool because it was giving me, like I said, the alien with, the tentacles, and there was like this can and it comes out with tentacles. It's pulling on somebody's face. And one part, when people drink the soda, because there's test subjects in like testing the diet phantasma,
Uh-huh.
and there's like some crazy stuff. People's skin is being peeled off. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Like I wrote down literally in my notes, uh, more crazy shit happens with the soda. Um, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. I just wanted more, I think, little clear explanation. But that could be because this is also an anthology story and they don't
Yeah,
really
there's no
have care.
explanation.
Yeah,
All it
I
is
think we just gotten a little bit, maybe more, of like why the guy wanted to experiment. Maybe it was just the fact he's crazy and that's fine. But I think Diet Phantasma because could be adapted into like a film, like a what like into a tire like narrative like full length feature film without including all of the other short stories. I just thought it would be interesting, you know if they were to go down that route.
I liked it
But
more as a short for it because I feel like you kind of get the idea of what's going on, and like I like how it leaves it very open-ended and kind of makes
mhm.
your own conclusions. Like I don't want to see that expanded more with that. Like this did fine for getting kind of the tone set off for this movie.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So I want to talk about Coochie Coochie Coo because that was the one I enjoyed most. And I want to pull it up real quick because what that at least that one is about. But from what I took in my notes, this is about two teenage girls. Um, they come face to face with a malevolent, oh my God, malevolent spirit known as the Mommy, an urban legend who supposedly kidnaps children from their homes during Halloween. And let me tell you, there's like adult babies here with, chubby baby cheeks. It's so creepy. There's a woman with like six, you get the picture. How do you describe it, Mac,
I
for
mean,
our audience at home?
you described it perfectly. You really can't really. I'd say you have to watch it to really
You
kind
have
of
to
get it.
watch it. There's
Like you
like,
can't. Everyone's gonna have their own different version of what this looks like, and I think
yeah,
you've kind of hit the what I was gonna say about it.
there's like a maggot cake with like, when these girls like enter this house, they're like, what is this house? And the thing is, these two teenage girls did not know what they were signing up for. They're just two girls. They're older. They just want to go grab some candy. And then the costume they're dressed as babies with, a onesie and a baby mask. I was like, what a coinky dink. You stumble upon this house and then you get yourself in a pretty messed up situation. So, what did you think of it, Mac?
I there's some questions I have that I'm not gonna get into because I'm not a therapist, but
Hmm.
it reminded me something of like Dead by Daylight. There's a killer. She takes like girls, kidnaps them, and kind of raises them as her own by chaining them and not feeding them. So it's like kind of got with that. I mean, the effects were great. Like that's the one thing I like. The effects were
The
really good.
makeup, the
Yeah,
makeup was really good here.
I like how they play into the whole thing of urban. Anything where urban, anything that has a story tied to urban legends, I do like, because it's like in that universe you you craft that narrative of being like, okay, how did this start? Like, who was this first person? And like it kind of starts like telling more about what the story is. And I got a lot of like a demented combination of it and care and not Carrie, Misery.
Oh yeah, Misery's a good like tie into that. Yeah. I could definitely see that. But I thought that was a good one. Um, yeah, so the next one was called, how do you say this?
Ut
Uta.
supra sic infa.
Yes, what you said was directed by Paco Plaza from the Rec movies. This is the one I actually enjoyed the least, in my opinion. I thought it was still gory. I still enjoyed, seeing the whole narrative play out, but I think the scares that I wanted to see are in the other ones.
This one is definitely the cool down one, because in every VHS film, there's the film that is like the cool down period, to kind of like, hey, you just watched this satanic thing try to kidnap these girls. Here's just a possessed procedural police drama, and that's fine. Like, I do like how we finally got like a cop story in the VHS
Hmm.
films. And like, Paco Plaza with Rec, the first one was about first responders going to the apartment building, so it kind of awesome to see him taking inspiration from that. But I think that this one was just fine. The transition between the first two that we had that were so crazy, and it's kind of something more like a little bit out of the box out there. Like, I feel like this one would make for a really good short film on its own, like not
Yeah,
VHS. Like,
I agree.
I think that had a lot of. It felt very laid back. It was still
It
scary,
did.
scary, but it was very laid back.
Hmm. Yeah. But I want to bring up something. Uta Separa Sink Infra. I can't say it right. This is in Latin, folks. It translates to as above, so below. And that takes me flashbacks
I
to
love
the
that movie.
tour. No, I don't.
I love it.
Oh, okay, we're gonna have to talk about that film at another time because was not a fan. I did not like that horror movie when it was released back in 2014. But yeah, this one was the one I think I enjoyed the least, but I understand what you were saying. It's the, cool down one, change up the palate cleanser a little bit. The next one was Fun Size, which is one
Yes.
you enjoyed. This
Yes.
one was my second favorite.
This is the one that feels the most like Trick or Treat.
Yes, I agree to that one. And this one is about 14 teenagers stumble upon a bowl of Halloween candy and ignore its instructions of consuming only one per person, leading to a disastrous consequences. And oh my goodness, this is what really does happen when you take one per person. Some people will call you out maybe on their Ring camera, or they'll watch you from the window and somebody will knock on the window and say, "Hey, one per person." But no, these people become trapped in some kind of crazy candy factory, like homemade candy factory. And the design was minimal, but it felt realistic, and it had the gores. And there was this creepy mascot. First, I wrote down that he looked like a tomato, but then I was like, no, he's like this red-headed figure. Like there's this weird cartoonish looking figure. He kind of looks like a clown too. He's got a little friend. And think of something really grotesque that could happen. And it does happen, right?
This is like, you want to talk about the spirit of Halloween and like the rules attached to it. This is the short that feels the most Halloweeny out of everything. Well, actually,
Yeah.
no. The last one we'll talk about is the most Halloweeny, but this is a close second.
This
Yeah.
is they're both just as good. Like I know we were talking about how this is like Trick or Treat. Like if I know we're getting like a sequel to Trick or Treat, which is like
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat, excuse me. I could see like one of these two, like Fun Size, or the last one we're going to talk about, Home Haunt. Like I could see one of these two being in the sequel that we're eventually going to get. So, but yeah, uh, go on. I want to hear more about your thoughts on it because I have thoughts. I want to talk about the director on the next film. So, why did you like it and the creativity of this one candy per person? Because the candy that we see here is pretty mysterious at first, and it gets a little gross, a little too gross. and
Well, because it's
marker.
a real thing. Like that's what I like about it because it feels legit because we've seen those kids on Halloween take more than one bowl of candy. I'm
Yeah,
not
like I
saying I was
said,
one of
yeah.
those kids. Like, shut up. But I just like how it took that thing of like, oh, you see these kids taking more than one candy, and it kind of flipped it on its head. And like I mentioned, Casper Kelly, he did a lot with Adult Swim. You know, like Too Many Cooks, and he's written episodes of Squidbillies, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, which is a great show. I recommend that. It's hilarious. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and Cat Dog. You take
Hmm.
all those inspirations he's had and just put it into this, and it's like it's so crazy and like kinetic and just wild. I just love it. And like I
It's
said,
funny how he shows up here,
yeah.
'Cause it doesn't feel like his like type of thing, But I
Um,
guess,
but
characters, I
I
guess.
liked it because I just like anything that has like the urban myths of Halloween like that and just kind of plays with it. I like that the most. And I like it's called Fun Size because it reminds me of the Victoria Justice movie, the title with the Nickelodeon.
Oh God, not
Remember?
that movie. Oh
I'm
God, the
like, I think about
flashback.
I had to
Oh
say Fun
God.
Size and that's it. So yeah.
This is the better fun size. And to be fair, it's a fun size, a little short. So, all right, let's move on to Kid Print because I want to acknowledge the director of Kid Print, Alex Ross Perry, has done a lot of really cool projects. Recently, he directed Video Haven, which is a documentary I've been wanting to see. It was just at uh, I believe it was at Tribeca. He worked on films like Pavement, The Sweet East, Her Smell, Christopher Robin,
Yes.
Nostalgia, Listen Up Philip, and he's directed for music videos for Allie and AJ. So how did he get involved with this project? I don't know, but I think it's really cool. And since I think he's done some really cool things. This is out of all the rankings that I have, this was also one I kind of ranked as my least favorite too. But I love the concept of it. I appreciate the concept. And the concept is a video store offering kid print videos, tape recordings meant to ID children that could be useful to law enforcement in case they go missing, finds itself in the center of the very thing it's trying to prevent. So, what did you think of this one, Mac?
I mean, I liked it. I just was more on the high of Fun Size still, so I'll let you talk about this one.
Okay, I guess I wasn't crazy about the story structure because I was like, wasn't thrilled about it in the events of how certain things played out. And I couldn't get really into this one as much. But like I said, I really enjoyed the concept. I really liked the casting of this one. And I just liked the video store owner. I thought that was pretty good.
Mhm.
But yeah, this one didn't leave me with a lasting impression like I was looking for, even with Coochie Coochie Coo. Even the one that Paco Plaza, like that one had at least a little more, I guess, to it. But this one I could have used, I guess, could have used a little more fun. But I didn't really care for this one as much. But Home Hunt ends it at least on a good note. I will say that. Home Hunt, which is directed by Michelle Pitt Norman and H.R. Norman. A family's yearly family tradition of creating a homemade haunt is upended when its newest edition, a mysterious curse LP, brings the various monsters to life. And this concept could have reminded me of I think there's like a Wizards of Waverly Place like episode
I thought the same
concept,
thing.
like if Alex Russo was picking up something like in the wizard shop and she's like, "Oh, I want to bring these monsters to life." And she would play like the record and all the
It's
monsters come to life.
like a demented version of Wizards of Waverly.
Yeah. Or like it could be like Halloween Town, from
Calabar's Revenge.
yeah, this is Calabar's Revenge in a way. But no, I thought this one was a cool one. Again, the production design is awesome here. I do like the gore in this one because kids in this one get killed. Like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting kids to die in this one. There's like zombies and witches, and I was like, what is going on here? And I'm just like, what is going on? And you could say that this is like the mastermind of the dad because there's like a mother, a son, and the father. And the father kind of dresses up like as what? Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And his wife is like Bride of Frankenstein, I guess. And then the son is dressed as Igor. So you could say like he's like the mastermind of the haunt, or like the haunted house. Like it's like a little amateur haunted house that the family puts on together. And the father goes to a thrift store to see, with his son just to like walk around or do whatever. And he finds this little record and he steals it because it was like this record was off limits in this room. It said staff only, and he finds it in this thing, in this little trunk, and he steals it, which is like well, not technically steals it, but it was like a no, no, you don't take that. So it led to some serious consequences for him and his family. So, I liked it. It was a good one. Like I said, I could see this one in our Trick or Treat sequel. So yeah, uh, enjoyed it. But Mac, you enjoyed this one too. I could see.
I did.
But how would you rank all these and like include Phantasma in it? How would you rank all six little shorts?
Fun Size one, Home Hunt two, Coochie Cuchico. Actually, no. Diet Phantasma is three. Old Supra Sick Infra is four, and then Coochie Cuchicu's dead last.
Really, I have the opposite. So I have Coochie Coochie Coo as number one, two, Fun Size, three, Home Haunt, four, Diet Phantasma, five, Kid Print, because I liked the concept of it. But I think the execution and Uta Supa Seek Farah as above, so below is the one I enjoyed the least. But yeah, I had fun with this one. I really did. I think this one was a fun ride. I'm happy I got to check it out. I think this movie was at Fantastic Fest, so
Yes, and they
some
got
people,
way rave reviews on Fantastic.
yeah, so I'm happy to see that. So, and I'm happy to see this is going to be available on Shudder on October 3rd, which is a big movie release this weekend, folks. So, if you decide to stay home and watch VHS Halloween, I think you'll be in for a real good treat.
Yeah,
Lots of treats in this film.
it's coming out at the right time. We're getting into the spooky season. Shudder has a great, vast library of original and, of course, iconic horror movies. So I believe all the VHS films are on there as well too. So you can always give a rewatch. And
And to be fair, Shudder is celebrating 10 years too,
I know I can't believe it's been
which is
10 years.
crazy.
I remember I
Like,
got into Shudder like during like right when COVID started, and I was like, oh, okay. I started getting the horror movies, and then I got Shudder, I think, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
yeah, Shudder has some good picks. I know they have some hiccups from time to time. I could say a few, but this one is at least they have their hands, you know, on a good set for VHS Halloween. But also, Shudder, I believe, has Good Boy coming
Yes, they
out
do.
too. So that's coming out. A lot of spooky movies are coming out on October 3rd, like Bone Lake, Good Boy. And if you don't want to see the spooky movies, we got, if you're going to see it, be a Swiftie this, coming weekend like me, you're going to see the Showgirl movie like Taylor Swift, or if you're going to see Smashing Machine with The Rock, then you got that. There's a lot of good movies I think coming out this weekend, and I think it's going to be a fun time at the movies. So take our word if you want to stay home and watch VHS, be our guest, and take our word and enjoy this ride. Grab some candy while you're at it.
Yeah,
Some fun size bars.
don't take more than one, you animals. But that's gonna do it for this episode. We are really excited for this to come out on Shudder on October 3rd. Like Kristen said, give it a watch. You won't be disappointed. It's good for the spooky season.
Oh, we forgot to grade it. What would you grade it?
I'm gonna give this a B plus.
I'm giving it a B. I think I've given that B to the VHS movies a couple times, but I feel safe giving it a B.
And
I
I
still
can't
haven't found the A-worthy material yet for
maybe next
VHS.
year because they're on a run 4 years in a row with a new
Did
VHS.
they announce which one they're doing next?
I
Do you know?
don't think so. They usually around if I'm not mistaken, usually around like of October. So they'll probably announce it next month. Usually that gives them a
Just a
whole
few days.
yeah, so probably mid-October because they announced this one in October 2024.
Okay. That was
So
last year.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we got two more movies and it'll be 10 VHS films since 2012.
That's
But
crazy, but they're doing well. People like them.
yeah,
Hell, it was announced last year at Comic-Con, so who knows if they're there this year, then which
well,
I
New
will
York
be
Comic
at.
Con that New York Comic Con is later in the year.
New York
But
Comic Con.
yeah,
I
that
mean, New
one.
York Comic Con, they announced it, but
Yeah.
I'll be at New York Comic Con.
So if you see them, tell them what's up and say thank you for making these awesome movies. But make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and make sure you support us on Patreon. Get all the new benefits, helps us continue to grow this popular podcast, and we just love doing it. We love making these episodes and having fun with it. But tune in on the next episode. I believe the next episode we're covering Tron Legacy.
Yes, we're going to have a special guest who I
Yes.
believe will be on to discuss both Tron films.
Oh yes, because Tron Ares is we're close, and
Yes, he
I
said this guest would like to discuss Beyond for both episodes. So if we can make it work and they can make it work in their schedule, they would like to be on for both episodes.
awesome. And make sure you check us out on our pages as well too. Kristen's had a new interview up on her channel. I got a new live
Yeah!
stream up with Rod, as well as I'm getting ready for the 31 Nights of Macaween. So stay tuned.
McElwain returns, folks!
Yes, there's 31 nights of
Yeah!
me just wondering why I'm writing full-blown reviews each day, but it's fun. We do it for the love of the
I
game.
love it, Mac. Can you give audiences maybe a sneak peek of what
Nope,
you're going to
nope.
cover?
I never reveal the lineup to
Mac,
anyone.
no, not even for day one? Not
Nope.
even for day one? Oh,
Day one's a surprise
oh
for
well.
you, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you
I'm gonna
guess
have
after we're
to.
done.
Okay. Alrighty. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you again to Shudder for sharing VHS Halloween with us, and we can't wait to review whatever you got next for us next time, Shudder.
Bye.
Oh yeah. Anyways, bye. See y'all next time.